Imagine you wake up one morning, grab your phone, and see the news everywhere. AI robots have built the first Martian city. For a second, your brain freezes. A city? On Mars? The same place where if you take off your mask for just 3 seconds, your lungs dry out? Now the big question hits. If robots really go before us and start building houses, schools, and even greenhouses on Mars, what would that city look like? A real place to live? Or a space bunker that feels more like a horror movie set? To answer that, we first have to check Mars's soil. How is Martian soil different from Earth's? Picture Earth, moist garden soil. You can grab a handful, pack it into a ball, even build a sandcastle with it. Now Mars? Nope. Its soil is basically a layer of dust called regolith, like sifted flour. It's like trying to build a house out of instant coffee powder. It just crumbles instantly. The composition is mostly silicates plus iron and other minerals. Organic matter? Pretty much zero. But here's the weird part. Studies show that 1.5 to 3% of that soil's weight could actually be water. Meaning, if you collect a whole truckload of Martian soil, you might just squeeze out a single soda bottle of water from it. So the real question is, can you actually build houses with this soil? The simple answer, not by hand, but technology says otherwise. A 3D printer can take the soil, heat it up in a furnace at 1100 to 1200 degrees Celsius, melt it, and then layer it into shape. When NASA tested this simulated soil, the strength hit 50 to 60 megapascals. That's actually stronger than regular concrete on Earth. So, in theory, yes, you can make Martian bricks, just not with gardening gloves, but with gear closer to a steel foundry. Then we get to gravity. Is Martian gravity a help or a headache? Mars's gravity is only 38% of Earth's. Good news, structures are lighter. Bad news, everything's wobblier. Imagine you built a house out of Legos. Easier to move around, but one bump and it collapses. NASA says the exact number is 0.378 of Earth's gravity. And water? Can we make cement? Pretty much no. Water here is as precious as gold. Experiments show water molecules are in the soil, but it's like they're locked in a safe. Better for chemical research than for mixing up a bag of concrete. It's like trying to fill a swimming pool with the condensation on your car window. So, what does the Martian environment actually do to structures? Temperatures swing between -60 and +20 degrees Celsius. Morning feels like a freezer, noon like a microwave. Dust storms can last for weeks, swallowing the sun completely. Radiation? With Mars's thin atmosphere, cosmic rays hit everything like laser beams. Surface pressure is only 6 to 7 millibars, less than 1% of Earth's. Meaning, if you pop open a soda there, the whole bottle explodes. And the atmosphere? 95% carbon dioxide. Oxygen? Forget it. That's when you realize why building even a plain wall on Mars basically turns into a full NASA mission. Soil that crumbles like instant coffee, water that's missing in action, gravity that makes things unstable, and air that offers death instead of life. Okay, let's assume they solve all the problems. What are Martian houses actually going to look like? Picture robots like worker bees gathering Martian soil and 3D printing it layer by layer. The houses turn into giant honeycombs, or like underground nuclear bunkers where only the entrance is visible. Surface pressure on Mars is only 0.6% of Earth's. On Earth, even a simple single-family house is fine. But on Mars, the house has to be clamped shut like a pressurized balloon. So, how should the walls be? They need 3 meters of soil. That's thicker than the walls of Earth's nuclear bunkers. What about temperature? Nights drop to -100 degrees Celsius. Days rise to +20 degrees. It's like putting your home in the fridge and the microwave at the same time. Now the question is, how exactly are the robots going to build these houses? A 3D printer heats the soil like pizza dough, melts it, and lays it down layer by layer. NASA has tested this and found the same method can deliver higher strength than ordinary earth concrete. What about roofs and walls? Roofs have to be arched, like Roman domes, so the internal air pressure distributes evenly. And the walls? A Martian house wall needs more layers than a New York pizza. They build the walls in multiple layers to have an internal pressure liner, thermal insulation, and an outer radiation shielding shell. Combining Martian soil with a hydrogen polymer reduces radiation by up to 60%. Right now, NASA is working on a project called Mars Dune Alpha, a 160-meter base in Texas, 3D printed with concrete to simulate Martian living, meaning part of this future is being tested on Earth right now. Let's assume everything is ready and the robots are on Mars with ideal conditions. If they start building now, by 2050, this Martian city could have a population of around 500. Each home is about 70 square meters, smaller than the average American apartment, 90 square meters, but built super efficiently due to resource limits. For survival, greenhouses totaling close to 5,000 square meters would need to be built to provide the oxygen and food the whole city needs. Outside your house on Mars is minus 60 degrees Celsius, but inside, it's always 22 degrees Celsius, like a permanent spring. You're not freezing or roasting. Everything is locked to the ideal temperature, but it's not just temperature. Humidity has to be tuned like the carpet under your feet. On Mars, they always keep it at 40 to 50%. Lower than that and your skin cracks like paper. Higher and mold rudely bursts out of the walls. Ugh. Do you think all this can be built on the Martian surface? Of course not. Building all of this on the surface doesn't work, which is why real life happens underground. About 50 meters down, tunnels connect everything like the New York subway. Down there, cosmic radiation is reduced by up to 90%, and you can finally breathe easy. And when you want to get around, there's no taxis or subways. A fleet of small, compact, self-driving electric cars picks you up. Why? Because only electrical energy can be produced there. It's all electricity. No gasoline or gas or any of that. This system doesn't run on vibes either. On sunny days, massive solar panels generate hundreds of megawatts. But when dust storms swallow the sky and the sun stays behind the curtain, that's when small kilopower nuclear reactors enter the chat. Each one can provide from 10 kilowatts to 1 megawatt of power, basically like an emergency battery for a neighborhood. Now picture the city from a distance, like a cyberpunk postcard, glowing red beneath the desert. White domes, luminous tunnels, and the green glow of greenhouses shining through windows. The sky isn't blue or black, it's a suffocating red, with a sun that looks half the size it does on Earth. And when night falls, the city lights up like a giant chipset, as if the whole of Mars turned into a gaming laptop. But before your imagination drifts off, here's a brutal fact. Surface radiation on Mars is about 600 millisieverts a year. That's nearly 200 times higher than Earth. For comparison, astronauts on the ISS get only 80 to 120 millisieverts. Bottom line, 1 year unprotected on Mars equals the lifetime career dose of a space astronaut. Now imagine you go to a Martian supermarket to buy some bread. The cashier looks at you and says, 1 liter of oxygen and the rest on credit with a glass of water. Forget cash or credit cards here. Mars has no monetary infrastructure. The only real currencies are 3 things: water, air, and energy. Paper money or coins, not even good for firewood. No banking system, internet has a 20-minute lag, so even Bitcoin and Ethereum won't help much. You can't mine your way to bread. Instead, imagine they launch a local digital currency backed by liters of oxygen or kilowatts of power. That becomes the Martian dollar. Your monthly salary is recorded as 3,000 liters of oxygen, plus 50 kilowatts of power. Want to save? You stash it in oxygen tanks or battery packs. And just like Earth, there's a black market. Smugglers selling underground ice water the way oil gets trafficked here. So, what's the first big Martian business? An oxygen banker giving out O2 loans, or an ice water dealer cutting shady underground deals? Most likely, food will be one. Imagine opening a Martian restaurant menu. Lettuce pizza plus insect protein smoothie. Ugh. Or maybe algae burger with 3D printed bread. Because the soil isn't fertile and sunlight is blocked by dust, crops must be grown in controlled greenhouses. No livestock. It'd waste insane amounts of water and energy. Solution? Lab-grown meat and insect protein. Hydroponic farms lit by red and blue LEDs crank out veggies and fruit. One greenhouse can feed 500 people. Each day, residents take turns harvesting. The smell of damp soil inside is the only whiff of earth left. Would you eat bug burgers for life just to live on Mars, or stick with Earth's falafel? Now, fun and entertainment. What does that even look like on Mars? No open-air cinemas, no street festivals, no big concerts. Life is confined, repetitive, and without fun, people would lose their minds fast. So, they build megadomes. LED lights flashing green and red, crowds nodding in spacesuits, a DJ at the mixer with an oxygen mask on, laptop powered by solar panels. The singer shouts, "This verse is the dust storm. This beat is the Martian sand." But fun isn't just music. Phosphorescent graffiti sprawls across tunnel walls, art shows inspired by Mars' half-sun run, and VR hubs let you play Earth soccer or stroll through New York streets. Just beware, if the power cuts, you're stuck in total darkness mid-game. Ever thought what happens if your neighbor forgets to tighten one screw? A tiny leak could vent the air pressure of the whole block, and suddenly everyone gets blown out like Pop-A-Moans. So they invent pressure police. Not chasing pickpockets, but checking structures and preventing sabotage. Laws get so strict, you wouldn't even dream of leaving a screw loose. On Earth, stealing a phone is minor. On Mars, the biggest crime is stealing oxygen or tampering with life support walls. Punishment? Not jail, not fines, exile to the Martian surface without a suit. Now picture trying to video call your friend on Earth. You say, "Hi," and the reply comes 20 minutes later, when you've already gone to bed. That's one of the weirdest parts of Martian life. The distance can hit 400 million kilometers, meaning every message takes 5 to 20 minutes. No live calls, no online gaming trash talk. Multiplayer? Forget it. You've lost before the match even starts. So they create Martian Internet. AI receives your message, predicts your reply, and sends it instantly. So you ask your mom, "Mom, you good?" And the bot instantly answers for her. "I'm fine, did you eat?" Over time, they build their own social networks. Their memes differ too. While Earth laughs at funny cats, Mars goes viral with robot worker with a shovel. Their internet culture evolves completely apart. And if tomorrow they said, registration for the first Martian city is open, would you sign up and go? Or would you say, Earth, flawed as it is, still feels like home? Drop your answer in the comments. Oh, and what's the very first thing you'd take with you to Mars?